welcome you all. My name is Ayobami. So let's just get started. Okay, I think I can now share it. The church and the media in the 21st century, right? The church and the media in the 21st century. So, what do we mean by what are we looking at? What are we talking about? Discussing this topic, the church and the media in the 21st century. So, who am I? My name is Ayobami Olashupo. I do quite a lot of things. For some of you that knows me so well or knows me a bit, but I've decided to major on two, which is music and multimedia. Of course, I sing and I play the instrument, and I'm a full-time multimedia person. And the reason I stood with this too is because I found fulfillment and pleasure in these aspects for years now, right? I specialize in media setup for churches, consultation, event live streaming, video editing, graphic design, audio editing, voiceover. I'm also a photographer, a videographer. So I deal with majorly multimedia, and then like I told you, I also sing and I play the instrument, musical instrument. So that's that about me. And I also sell affiliate products. I'm an affiliate marketer also. Yes, so I have products, affiliate products that can help you, good products like buy now, pay later. They can help you pay your rent to a particular point. So you can contact me for all of those. So like I told you, I sell affiliate products. You can contact me personally for that. I won't go much on that. And most importantly, which is not the least, is that I am a child of God to the glory of God, and you need to know that about me. Thank you very much. So let's move on. On that note, I welcome you to this course. Thank you for joining. You are welcome. So let's move on. Like I told you, we are considering majorly 5 topics: understanding multimedia, the role of multimedia in the church, emergence of the 21st century church, and multimedia as a power engine, right? And lastly, which is live streaming, right? Live streaming. So let's proceed. Now we are looking at understanding multimedia. So we'll be looking at the definition of multimedia, component of multimedia, and application of multimedia, like some people call it. That's that. So let's move on. Now, what is multimedia? What do you understand by multimedia? So, by definition, it's a representation of information in an attractive and interactive manner, right? With the use of a combination of majorly 5 things: text, audio, video, graphics, and animation, right? Text, audio, video, graphics, and animation. It's not Facebook. It's not YouTube. It's not TikTok. Now, there's an issue. I have an issue with the social media, with online, because even if you go to something like Pixabay or Unsplash and you type multimedia or media, the next thing that will pop up on your screen is Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, this, that. So there's a need for us to understand what multimedia is all about, right? It's a combination of text, audio, video, graphics, and animation. In other words, we can say that multimedia is a computerized method, right? Now, it deals with computer, right? It's a computerized method of presenting information, combining textual data, which is text, audio, visuals, which is your picture and your videos, graphics, and animation, right? So, multimedia, as the name suggests, is a combination of 2 words. It's a combination of what? 2 words.
What?
Yeah. So, which are multi and media. So, multi, which means many types, and media is what we're discussing, right? Like I told you, media is your this and that. Okay, let's move on. So we can many types of media, which includes your hardware and software used for communicating information, right? So that's not about that. Please, you can just mute your mic if you are not talking. I would require you to talk when to unmute when I want you to talk. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So let's move on. So um, now the multimedia hardware consists of the computer, the television, the mobile phones, the radio set, and not etc. etc. We won't dwell much on that right now. Um, Also, we have the software, which includes your email, your media player, the CASA, media converter. Now, I will dwell a bit on that media converter, Wonder Share and Format Factory. For those of you who know what those things does, you know that those things are power, especially Format Factory, is a power tool. With Format Factory, you can do quite a lot of things. You can convert your video of MKV to MP4, from MP4 to MKV, from you can convert your audio sources, you can convert your pictures, you can join your audios, you can join your videos. As in that application, that software is a power software. So as a multimedia person, you need to have that software. Thank you. So we'll be looking at our components today, and I told you we have five. Number one is text. Now we have different kind of text. All multimedia productions can contain some amount of text. The text can have various types of fonts and size to suit the professional presentation of the multimedia software. Now that is English. The main thing here is that we have different kind of text for different kind of moods, right? For instance, now this is going to be understood by more of the multimedia of the graphics people. You know, it cuts across so many things. So we have different kind of text for different kind of mood. Probably you want to say something serious. There's a particular font you use. We want to say something serious. For instance, we use Times New Roman, we use Franklin Gothic, right? Yeah, you have different types. If you want to make something a bit, comic, we have Comic Sans, we have brush scripts, we have different kind of this thing. It's a way of presenting a particular information, not just direct, but in an interesting manner. So we move on, and the next one we have here is graphics. Now, graphics makes the multimedia application attractive, right? When you are trying to present an information, it makes your message look attractive. Now, in many cases, people do not like reading large amount of textual matter on the screen. One example, I'm number one example. At times, I get worked up. I don't like to read, so that is where the work of graphics comes in. Therefore, graphics are used more often than text to explain a concept and to present background information, right? So, graphics do the work of 1,000 words, right? Of 1,000 words, it does the work of 1,000 words in a graphical manner and an interesting way. I'm sure that our graphic people in the house understand what I'm talking about, right? So that is what graphics does. And we have two types of graphics, right? We have the bitmap. Now, bitmap images, we have the bitmap images. Bitmap images are real images, right? That can be captured from devices such as digital cameras or scanners. They are also called raster images, right? So if you hear raster, somebody say, okay, I want raster images, you should know what they're talking about. It's bitmap, right? So bitmap requires a large amount of memory. Now, I would like to say this: we have different kind of bitmap. Bitmap is not necessarily JPEG. Some people are always mistaking it for that. Bitmap is a kind of image that has different distance. So we have different types. We have the JPEG, we have the GIF. So we have the JPEG, we have the GIF, we have the TIFF, we have the PNG. Now the full meaning of these things you can browse it on the internet. But what I can tell you now is PNG, portable network graphics. We have every other ones, but these are the ones I can tell you right now. And we have the vector graphics Vector graphics are drawn on the computer and only require a small amount of memory. And these graphics are editable, just like you see on your image. Now you see this. You see this particular image. Um, see this particular image. Sorry. This and this. This is example of a vector. This is example of a bitmap. They are original images, right? So that's that about bitmap and vector. So let's move on. We have audio. A multimedia requires the use of speech, music, and sound effects. These are called audio or sound elements of media. Now, you know all of that. Um, Audio is very important in multimedia. You know, some people tend to listen more to the audio. You know, for instance, I am really drawn to audio and video. If I'm not watching something, let me give you an instance. I logged in on YouTube just a few days ago, and I was going to watch something. You know the way all these YouTube things pop up, and I saw this particular video of Pastor Matthew at Chimologo's estate, and I just clicked on it, and I was just glued. Number one, the video quality was awesome. Number two, the audio was superb. I was like, who is this video editor? Who is this? How did they come across it? I was so glued to the audio that I could not remove the earpiece from my ear. It was clear, crystal clear, HD sound, and that kind of thing just, even though I don't have the money for an estate, I just glued to it. I was just watching it because everything about the video was awesome. And I was trying to picture where they put the mic. But I could not get it. I hope I can get in touch with the video editor or the production team. That was a wonderful job they did. So that's what about that. And sounds are measured in decibels, right? Sounds are measured in decibels. So we move on to the next one, which is video. Now, the term video refers to moving pictures accompanied by sounds. Video element of multimedia application gives a lot of information in small duration. Just like I told you that graphics can make 1,000 words into a few moments of message. Also, video can carry a 24 hours work into 2 hours or 3 hours, right? There's a way you can manipulate it. When the video editor, takes a raw footage, mix it with audio effects, sound effects, give it audio backing, put music, you see that you get attracted. So video have the highest performance demand on the computer memory and on the bandwidth if placed on internet. Unlike images and graphics, video have more memories, right? Digital videos file can be stored like any other files in the computer, just like the audio can be stored in the computer and the graphics. You can also store your video. Also, we have the animation. Animation, for those of you that do animation, I won't say much about that. Yes. So animation is a process of making a static image look like it is moving. And animation is just a continuous series of still images that are displayed in sequence, right? The animation can be used effectively for attracting attention. For those of us that have children, there's a way we know how to put our children to make them focus on something. Ichi, Badanamu. Badanamu is a very good example. Tom and Jerry, cartoons, different kind of cartoons. For those of us that like to watch anime, animations, right? And it's very popular in the multimedia application. To the glory of God, I can function in all of these except animation that much. So we move on. And for the sake of this teaching, I added one which is live streaming. Yes, live streaming. Now, what is live streaming? Streaming is a method of data transmission used when someone watches video on the internet. It is a way to deliver a video file a little bit at a time, often from a remote storage. Now, from here, I'm streaming what you're seeing. You can see me. So Live, it's just like presenting a particular information to so many people. Just like you watch on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Zoom Live. On you understand? So that is what live streaming is all about. Live streaming is when the stream video is sent over the internet in real time without first being recorded and stored. Just like we are doing in some media, just like some of us, it is being done. This one is live. Live streaming is live. The word live is going on. The way it is happening, you are seeing it live. Now, today, TV broadcasts, video game streams, and social media can all be live streamed. So for some of us that watch online games, you see that you can live stream your games, you can live stream your events. You know, there was a there was something that happened yesterday, which was, and people were viewing it. Some people were live streaming. Some people were live streaming it immediately, right? So that is what we mean by live streaming, presenting a particular video, a live video, what is happening at that moment to many other people. So without okay, now we move to the second topic: the role of multimedia in the church. The role of multimedia in the church. Now, mind you, I'm talking about the church here, but as a creative, as a multimedia person, you can also apply it to your personal firm or your organization or anywhere. This does not is not limited to church alone. This is not limited to church alone, right? So I want to put that across. Now, we move on. Now, multimedia helps to emphasize the gospel, right? Now, I will not dwell much on the what. I will just use this image to do my example, right? As you can see this image, it says everything about what we are talking about. Now, let me just read this a bit. Communication takes place on many different levels. When your pastor preaches, now this is a pastor, right? This is our pastor. I think you can see my cursor. This is our pastor. Let me use this. This is our pastor here. His ministry. It's one ministry. Sorry for that. So his ministry. He is using his voice to speak words and his body to make gestures to emphasize those words. Now, this is a mic that he's using for to speak the words into this thing. So that is the second one. And perhaps he's backed by a stage design that further emphasizes his message. Now we can see the stage design. Arise and shine. I hope you can all see it. Right? Arise and what? And shine. Right? Arise and shine. I apologize for those lines. I'm just trying to pass the message across so that you will understand. So this is a full. Now let me read that finish. Also, he may be using videos, pictures, printed words, or PowerPoints to drive the points home even further. Now we have pastors that use slides. Example is this pastor that talks about marriage. So he uses slide. Pastor PC. So we have different pastors that uses slides to do this thing. So what I'm trying to let you understand here is that this one image emphasizes all what we'll be talking about, right? The pastor is preaching. He has a mic, which we are receiving from the multimedia room, digital audio into our computer. We also have him making gestures. Now, he also has a stage design at his back. Now, you can see that it's even taking his name. Look at the name at the back. He has a name there. His name is written there. Mind you, that's our lead pastor in Manhattan Church. So he has the name of the topic on the screen, boldly written. Now, what this does, for those of you that might not know, is that it helps the members to know who is ministering. Because, of course, you know that the man that is coming will not say that my name is this I'm here to give you this message. You only introduce his message, right? So he has something that is giving you the information at the back. Everybody can see it, right? And this will help even the latecomers, somebody who came in late, maybe at half of the message. When he comes in, he might still be able to pen something down. He will know that, oh, Pastor Ibeti is the one, Deacon Ibeti is the one ministering. This is his name, this is what he's talking about. And there are times you also give bullet points, right? So this is the work of a multimedia personnel. And this is an image which a photographer took, right? So all of this makes the message more simpler and easy to understand. I will share my own example with you. Now we have other examples. That's Pastor Agunbiade, Pastor Shola Agunbiade here, and these are parish pastor. We have different. Those are also images that further explain what I'm talking about. That's Pastor Dilemo Korede over there, ministering when he came over to this place. So what I'm telling you is that the message becomes easier when we have a graphic something showing at the side and all of those. So I think I have more examples. Yes. Now you can see the choir ministry over there. They have this scripture showing at the side and letting them understand that we are not just singing to you, we are ministering a particular word to you, right? So that's another one from Pastor Mrs. Agunbiade. So I can go on and on showing you different examples, but for time's sake and for the sake of to save time, Sha. So let me just continue with what I'm doing. Oh. So now let me tell my story quickly. Now I joined this church when it was still in this form. This was our old church. Now there was something that attracted me to the church. Pastor Shola was ministering a day like that, and he made a very pictorial example of what he was talking about. I must tell you that day I went home very fulfilled, and he explained the fiery dart, explained this, explained that, how you can use images of warriors and all of those things, and it really drew attention. And I was like, wow, this is where I want to be. Before long, we knew that God was moving us to a better place, and this is where we are now. Now you can see the screen. We have a bigger screen. We have other screens like that. Now, this is a very good example of what I'm talking about, right? This is a very good example of all I've been talking about. And let's just move on to the rules of multimedia in the church because we don't have much time. So, number 2, it offers support in form of creating awareness. Probably there's something you want to make the church understand. You want them to know that, oh, something is happening. We want you to do this. We want you to contribute. Or maybe we have, when we are ministering, we want to show them, project not that we're even in cash scarcity. We want to project the online offering. Let them know that this is where you're going to drop your money. So you can just put it there. You can do a voiceover if you are doing on MixLR. A voiceover that, oh, drop your account, drop your this thing here, do this, and do that. So that will help people to understand better, right? So we move on. Now, easy communication. We live in a media-saturated world. The point of using media is not to make the media look more important than any other department, right? Rather, it's just a department which makes the information that you are passing across easier, right? And is making it ready to make it understood by people. So, with the use of screens, like I told you, motions, graphics, put this thing now, use earpiece. With the use of screens, motions, graphics, and colors, you can easily pass a message across, right, to a vast audience, right? So with videos, pictures, and all of those, you can pass a message across that will captivate the minds of people, right? And will make them fall in love with what you are trying to say. Now, if I tell you that I love you, of course now you are telling your lover that. Let me use that example that I love you, right? But ladies tend to react also. People tend to react to images, the color red, the chocolate, and all of those stuff. Now, during Valentine period, you design a card that has red. That so those are those little things, colors. One way or the other, we are attracted to bright colors. You don't know, you might not know, but we are kind of attracted to bright colors, right? So these are the things that makes your information more more easier and interesting to pass across. So using media, therefore, is not the devil's means to spread God's truth, as some people think. You know, I won't mention names. I don't know them. Some people think all these things are the devil's tools. No, they are not. It's not a devil tool, right? They are not devil tools. It is simply using a culturally relevant form of communication to reach more people. You know, things have changed. We can't be doing things the way it was being done. You know, in the days of our fathers and our mothers, is not the things they used those times. Is not the things we are using now. Even if we are using them now, we are using them in a more upgraded way. So anybody that is telling you that àwọn kìíní yìí èṣù ló ní, apologies for the Yoruba speaking. All these things, they are devil's tools. No, it is not devil's tool. Oh. It is a tool. They are tools, and they are um, a cultural relevant form of passing messages across. So we move on. Please, are you still with me? I hope I'm not too fast. Are we getting something?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Thank you very much. So we move on. Uh, so now we talked about the emergence of the 21st century churches. Now, what I'm going to talk about this place is what you will see in the 21st century churches. Now, what do you mean by 21st century churches? Churches that are now being in that are now founded in this our present age, right? To any 21st century church you are going to be going to, you'll be seeing majorly these things in that church, right? It's conducive, it's convenient, the environment is convenient, AC is blowing you left, right, center. The grass are green. Just February 12 or so, the Trinity Towers what's that English again? Was inaugurated. So, and you need to see. I have not been there, but I watched it online. It was massive. It is massive. That place is massive. So these are, and most of the things that you see, the big screen at the back showing the thing that is happening outside or whatever it was that they were showing. I didn't know, but I would love to be there one day, and I know I'll be there very soon. So those are 21st century churches. They have a good conducive environment. They have good convenient. You feel convenient when you enter into that places. You hear clear audio, clean video, online, and a good online presence. Right? Talk about streams of Troy International. Talk about what do we call it? Avestas. Talk about this, that. So many other people. Elevation Church, the Rock, House on the Rock, even the Redeemed churches now, the Bridge LSC, we have just few weeks ago, a few days ago, the Envoys was inaugurated also. The Envoys that's called by Keja, Pastor Daniel Olawale. I watched a message and I saw the difference between the 21st century church and other churches. So These are the things you have to understand. So for us to move, we need to continue to advance, right? So in all these kind of churches. So we move on. Now, multimedia as a power engine. Now, due to powerful equipment and sophisticated gadgets used in the multimedia department, and the way people can perform wonders with such gadgets, equipment, and tools and software, we can boldly say that multimedia is also a powerhouse in our world today, not just in our church, but in our world, right? Apologies, people are still coming in, so we need to admit them. So I'll take a graphic designer for an example. When a designer design a particular message, you see the beauty, the colors, the effects, and all of those. When a video editor does his own work, you see the beauty. When a photographer does his own work, what you are seeing normally, when he takes a picture of it, you see the details in that pictures, or a photo editor takes his work into Photoshop, add the Photoshop or Lightroom, and when it comes out to the end result, you'll be amazed by what you are seeing. Like we have photo manipulators, different things. So we can boldly say that we are a powerhouse. So whatever you're doing as a multimedia person or as a creative, um, I want you to know that you are not just doing anything. You are doing something powerful, right? So you as you are a power engine in wherever you are operating. Some of us are graphic designers. You know how your clients disturb you when they want to get an information, they want to get something, to do something, they want to do something. Some of us are video editors. Some of us are um, some of us are good with audio. We are audio. We deal with audio recording, studio recording, and all the sorts. So please don't let anyone lie to you that what you are doing is nothing. No, it is something, right? It is something powerful. So we have now. I'll be talking about the tools and the equipment in the multimedia. As you can see on your screen, we have the camera, right? We have different types of camera. For the sake of time, I won't be able to dwell much on all of those. We have computer. Now, if you want to have a media house, what do you need? You need a camera, you need a computer. Um, you also need, for a church, you also need a screen, you need your smartphone. Now, somebody might be asking, why do we need a smartphone? Of course, you need a smartphone. There are some there are some softwares that you might need to quickly do on your phone when you're maybe when you're not on your computer. For instance, video editing. Now, I remember back in 2021, 2022, most of my videos I did them on the phone, and it was played on that big screen that I showed you earlier on. And people really like it. When I told them that I did this thing with a phone, they were like, "It's a lie," because the quality of the video was can match that of Adobe for Adobe Premiere Pro. It can match that of Filmora, Wondershare Filmora. So it is you knowing what to do and how to do it quickly. Now, if you go on our page, you will see some videos that have been recently uploaded. Some of them, most of them are pictures. Some of them are pictures. I won't say most of them are pictures. Some of are phones. Some of them are designed are taken with a phone. The videos that were taken with phone and they were edited with phone, right? With phones. So you need to know how to do all of these things if you want to work, because at times you have to there's pressure on your head and you need to deliver on time. So that is why you need your smartphone, right? Also, we have the screen, which is LED. Now, the former one is the computer screen or your TV screen. For instance, you are in a small church, you might not need the LED screen. You can just get a big TV or a normal TV, and then we are good to go. But for big churches that can afford it, not really afford it, or that has the space, you can invest in LED screen, as you can see, LED screen, and you also need your cables. Now that is a HDMI cable. For those of you that don't know that, that's an HDMI cable. Those are the things you might. Those are we have many gadgets, many equipment. I can tell you that we have many equipment, we have many gadgets. But for the sake of this length of this training and the sake of time, I won't go much on that. Now we have multimedia software for churches or for your personal self. We have Busy Worship, we have Pro Presenter, we have VLC, we have vMix, we have OBS. Now vMix and OBS are live streaming softwares, right? While Easy Worship is a very common Easy Worship and Pro Presenter are like they do like the same thing. Only that Pro Presenter is, I believe, to me, is more advanced than Easy Worship. I believe. I might be wrong, but I believe it's way more standard than Easy Worship. Easy Worship is a very good tool also, which we use to display our text, our images, our videos on the screen, and all of those things you see, your lower third, your alerts. You want to pass a message that somebody should go and please be back and somebody wants to go out. These are the tools you use to do it. Easy Worship, Pro Presenter. Now you all know VLC. It plays your audio, it plays your video, it plays so those are that. And the vMix and OBS, they are the what are we calling it? They are for live streaming, right? So we move on to the next one, which is a quote by Brian Knox. He says, multimedia is significant in our lives today because if we connect and communicate with more than just one medium, we can use more than one. We can use more than one of our senses. Very true. You know, you are getting a message through text, through graphics, through video, through motion, and through animation. So all of those makes the message easier to understand. Now I will just share few tips with you as a creative or a multimedia specialist, a multimedia personnel. I will share these tips with you, and you need to work with it. Now, number one, you need to be fast and accurate. Avoid constant or consistent mistakes. It is annoying. Trust me, it is annoying. Now, I said constant or consistent mistakes. That's because no one is above mistakes. People make mistakes, quite right. But when it's continuous and when it's constant, it becomes annoying, right? For instance, those of us who operate in church, who use Easy Worship, when the pastor calls a particular passage and it's not being shown on time, a very good example is my provincial pastor. He likes it to be on time, immediately. And at times, it is not your fault. It is the system's fault. For those of us who can relate, the system is not answering you on time. So that is where you have to find new ways to work, right? You have to be fast and accurate. You need to learn how to deal with pressure as a multimedia person. I'm not saying you should work with pressure, right? You should learn how to deal with it. Many of us cannot deal with pressure, but if you want to really move in this line, you need to learn how to deal with it. Because if you're in a church like mine, or in a smaller church where people can just barge into your space, you did not show this one, you did not do this one, somebody will come. Or maybe you have a big program. For instance, a very good example is when we are having a provincial program. When we are having a provincial program, example is TAP, the African Praise, or SOD, or whatever it is. This one will come, and we have this song. When you are still dealing with that particular one, that one will come. I have this presentation. We have this song. We have this one, and you are the one there. You are already getting, gosh. If cares that you can even flare up. No, you don't have to flare up, right? You can show your displeasure, but in a official manner, right? Because you are dealing with people, right? So you need to learn how to deal with pressure. So just try to take one at a time. At times, everything will not show. Some will come and fight you. You did not share my presentation. You did not share my picture. You did not share my this thing. You just have to. That's why you need to learn how to apologize to people that they are sorry. It's not your fault. This happened. That happened. So as a multimedia person, you need to. I can't really overemphasize this. You need to learn how to deal with pressure. And number three, for effectiveness, you need to learn new and easy ways to work. Be dynamic. Now, I do always say this things to my people. You need to learn new ways to work. Yeah, this gadget we are seeing, many things are not, they did not tell you many things about it. They want you to sit down, get new things, and operate it by yourself, right? So they will not tell you everything, that everything is available. Rather, they will just sell it to you. You have to sit down with it and get new things. Browse the internet. So for you to be dynamic, you have to do your research, ask questions. That's the first point. Browse the internet, take courses, right? You have to ensure that you do like you are attending this courses, this one now. You have to learn new ways to work. When something is giving you problems, something is giving you serious issue, you can just there are sometimes I will share my personal experience. I will just sit down after the service. Then I will sit down with a particular thing, look for what is happening, the problem, then I will try to solve a particular issue. I won't mention so many things now. But please, wherever you are functioning as a multimedia person, be you a photographer, be you a videographer, be you a video editor, be you a graphic designer, be you whatever, be you are doing live streaming, I tell you there are thousands and a thousand of ways to do things, right? So you have to do your research, you have to learn new things, browse the internet. There was a day I sat down on internet, I went onto YouTube and I was watching multimedia content. Because of I don't want it to disturb my algorithm on YouTube, I had to go incognito and I was watching, learning new things, and those are the ways you can learn. And with all of that, not everything is there on the internet, right? You need to do some other things too. You need to read some books. You need to speak to some people. You need to see some people. You need to meet with some people, right? So, lastly, for this tip, you have to look for your source of inspiration. I will share my own source of inspiration with you. Now, when I say source of inspiration, you need to look for something that inspires you. So, for me, it is I'm a child of God, like I told you. It is prayer, and I worship songs. I might just be walking, and something will just minister to me. The Lord will just minister to me. Okay, go and try this out. And I'll get on my gadget, on my space, and I just this. I try to just walk out, and I'll just tell my people that, see, yeah, but I want to do things. So you need to also always learn new ways to do things, right? So that's that about that, and that brings us to the end of this session. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for staying tuned.